what if, in the same state, one small town keeps losing residents because its economy has collapsed, while another is fought over as one of the best places to build a future? This is the reality in Louisiana. Behind its swamps, jazz music, and world-famous Cajun culture, Louisiana hides the story of two very different worlds. Some towns have lost industries, been abandoned by younger generations, and keep shrinking year after year. Yet only a few miles away, other small towns enjoy rapid growth, high incomes, and rising quality of life. So, which towns rank among the worst, and which one comes out as the best? It is hard to imagine that Bastrop was once one of the busier industrial towns in northeastern Louisiana. Located in Morehouse Parish, this small city once relied on timber and manufacturing industries that supported thousands of residents. But as factories began closing and jobs disappeared, Bastrop slowly lost its economic pulse. The impact is clear in its population. Over about 15 years, Bastrop's population has fallen to around 8,800 people. At the same time, economic conditions have worsened. U.S. Census Bureau data shows that about 40.1% of residents live below the poverty line, while median household income is only around $32,605 US per year. Unlike Bastrop, which grew from trade, Bogalusa was born as a company town in the early 20th century. This city in Washington Parish grew rapidly thanks to timber and a giant paper mill that was once one of Louisiana's largest employers. For decades, thousands of residents depended on that sector. But as the timber industry weakened and factory employment kept shrinking due to modernization, Bogalusa's economy was hit hard. Today, only around 10,300 people remain, down by more than half. Economic conditions are still challenging, with about 39% of residents living below the poverty line, while median household income is only around $30,000 US per year. In Madison Parish, northeastern Louisiana, Tallulah is a small city that has long depended on agriculture, especially cotton, corn, and soybeans. Unfortunately, as farm mechanization reduced the need for labor and new investment became harder to attract, the city's economy began falling behind other areas. The impact is clear in its social and economic conditions. With around 5,400 residents, Tallulah has one of the highest poverty rates in Louisiana. U.S. Census Bureau data shows that about 41% of residents live below the poverty line, while median household income is only around $33,000 US per year. That figure is far below both the state and national averages. In central Louisiana's Evangeline Parish, Ville Platte is known as a center of Cajun culture and hosts the Smoked Meat Festival every year. But behind its rich cultural identity, this small city still faces serious economic challenges. Ville Platte has around 6,100 residents, yet its economic growth remains relatively slow. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, about 31% of residents live below the poverty line, while median household income is only around $28,000 US per year. Job opportunities are also limited because the local economy relies mostly on agriculture, services, and small businesses. In recent years, many working-age residents have moved to cities with better job prospects, such as Lafayette or Baton Rouge. Over in Allen Parish, western Louisiana, Oakdale once grew as an industrial town supported by timber processing, manufacturing, and forest products. But as several industries began shrinking and jobs declined, The city's economic growth also slowed. Today, Oakdale has around 6,500 residents. About 32% live below the poverty line, while median household income is around $42,000 per year. Although it still has important facilities, including a federal prison that serves as one of its largest employers, Oakdale has not attracted major new investment. As a result, growth remains slow, and many young residents leave for cities with better career prospects. In Caddo Parish, right near the Louisiana-Texas border, Vivian once enjoyed a period of prosperity from oil, natural gas, and timber industries that grew rapidly from the early to mid-20th century. Drilling activity and trade once made this small town one of the local economic centers of northern Louisiana. However, as industrial activity declined and job opportunities decreased, Vivian saw a significant population drop. Today, its population is down to around 2,900 people. About 44% of residents live below the poverty line. Although the town remains quiet and has a close-knit community, Vivian's economic growth remains slow. It is hard to find a town in Louisiana with a population decline as sharp as Jonesville's. This small town in Tallulah Parish actually sits in a strategic spot, right where the Black River and Ouachita River meet. In the past, that position made it a trade center for agricultural goods and a water transportation route for the surrounding region. But that geographic advantage is no longer enough to support the town's growth. Recent estimates show that its population has fallen to around 1,500 residents. Nearly 4 in every 10 residents have left over the past 25 years. As the population shrinks, economic activity slows with it. Fewer residents mean a smaller workforce, fewer consumers, and fewer investment opportunities coming in. For many people driving along Interstate 20, Rayville is just a stopover before heading to Monroe or Vicksburg. Yet this small town was once known as a trade center for agricultural products in northeastern Louisiana. Almost all of its economy revolved around cotton, corn, soybeans, and sweet potatoes harvested from Richland Parish, one of the state's most productive farming areas. The problem is that as farming relies more on modern machinery, the need for labor keeps shrinking. The impact is still felt today. Although Rayville sits along a major highway passed by thousands of vehicles every day, its development has fallen behind other towns along Interstate 20. Judging by size alone, Ferriday may look like an ordinary small town in eastern Louisiana. But this town in Concordia Parish has an extraordinary cultural legacy. Ferriday is the hometown of 3 American music legends, Jerry Lee Lewis, Mickey Gilley, and Jimmy Swaggart. All 3 were even born only months apart and later changed the history of rock, country, and gospel music. That legacy is now preserved through the Delta Music Museum, the town's main attraction. Unfortunately, that fame has not been enough to lift its economy. After reaching its population peak in the mid-20th century, Ferriday has continued to decline and now has only around 2,900 residents. Among Louisiana's small towns, Mansfield carries a history far larger than its size. On April 8, 1864, the town became the site of the Battle of Mansfield, the largest Civil War battle fought in Louisiana. The Confederate victory stopped the Red River Campaign, a major Union operation aimed at controlling western Louisiana and parts of Texas. Today, the battlefield is preserved as Mansfield's State Historic Site and remains one of the state's most important historical sites. Yet that historic importance has not translated into economic growth. Mansfield, now home to around 4,400 residents, still depends on government, education, and small local businesses. Unlike other towns that have attracted new industries or investment, Mansfield's growth has remained slow. After seeing towns still struggling with economic decline, shrinking populations, and limited investment, one interesting question comes up. Do all small towns in Louisiana share that fate? Of course not. In the same state, some small towns have managed to grow despite many challenges. Some use tourism as an economic engine, while others grow through education, local business, and good planning. Minden proves that a small town does not need to be an industrial center to keep moving forward. In Webster Parish, this town is known for its active historic downtown, filled with local shops, restaurants, and well-preserved early 20th century buildings. Every year-end, the area also becomes a tourist destination, thanks to thousands of Christmas lights, a tradition kept alive for decades. Minden has around 10,900 residents, with a median household income of about $34,294 per year. Although that number is not high, the local economy is supported by healthcare, education, retail, and local businesses that keep economic activity relatively stable. With affordable living costs, a close-knit community, and a lively downtown, Minden is often seen as one of Louisiana's most comfortable small towns to live in. Nicknamed the Crawfish capital of the world, Breaux Bridge has turned its cultural identity into an economic strength. This small town in St. Martin Parish is famous for its well-preserved Cajun traditions, from Zydeco music and local cuisine to the Breaux Bridge Crawfish Festival, which draws tens of thousands of visitors from across the United States every year. With around 7,700 residents, Breaux Bridge has a median household income of about $47,000 per year, higher than many other small towns in Louisiana. Its position only about 9 miles from Lafayette also gives it an advantage. Many residents work in the Lafayette metro area, but choose to live in Breaux Bridge for its quieter atmosphere and more affordable cost of living. As the oldest city in Louisiana, Natchitoches has a history older than the United States itself. Founded in 1714 as a French trading post along the Cane River, the city is now known for the Front Street Historic District, filled with historic buildings, boutiques, restaurants, and cafes that stay active year-round. Tourism is the main driver of Natchitoches' economy. Every holiday season, the Natchitoches Christmas Festival, held since 1927, attracts more than 300,000 visitors, making it one of the largest Christmas festivals in the United States. The city is also home to Northwestern State University, which helps support education and the local economy. small cities in Louisiana have built their economy through education as successfully as Ruston. In Lincoln Parish, this city is home to Louisiana Tech University, a research university founded in 1894 that now serves more than 12,000 students. The campus gives Ruston a much more dynamic economy than many other small cities in the state. Ruston itself has around 22,000 residents, with a median household income of about $39,000 per year. Beyond education, the city's economy is also supported by healthcare, retail, and manufacturing. While many small towns depend on one economic sector, Zachary has grown through a mix of education, housing, and proximity to Baton Rouge. About 15 kilometers north of Louisiana's capital, Zachary has become a choice for many families who want a quieter environment without being far from major job centers. With around 20,800 residents, Zachary has a median household income of about $84,000 per year, one of the highest among Louisiana's small cities. The city is also widely known for the Zachary Community School District, an independent school district that consistently ranks highly in the state. With a population of only around 2,800, Abita Springs proves that even a small town can become a favorite destination in Louisiana. Set in St. Tammany Parish, about 1 hour from New Orleans, the town is known for its natural springs, which have drawn visitors since the late 19th century. The name Abita Springs became even more widely known through Abita Brewing Company, one of Louisiana's largest and most famous beer producers. The brewery and tour center attract thousands of visitors every year and help drive the local economy. In addition, the Tammany Trace, a 24-mile biking and walking trail, makes the town popular among outdoor lovers. With only around 1,500 residents, St. Francisville is known as one of Louisiana's most charming small towns. In West Feliciana Parish, the town has preserved its 19th century atmosphere through historic buildings, streets lined with old oak trees, and well-kept colonial-style homes. Tourism is the main engine of St. Francisville's economy. The town serves as a gateway to several famous historic destinations, such as the Myrtles Plantation and Rosedown Plantation State Historic Site, which draw thousands of visitors each year. No wonder its downtown is filled with boutiques, art galleries, bed and breakfast inns, and local restaurants supported by tourism. St. Francisville also has a median household income of about $57,000 per year, far above Louisiana's average. Among Louisiana's small cities, few have drawn as much attention for growth over the last 2 decades as Youngsville. In Lafayette Parish, the city has transformed from a rural community into one of the fastest growing residential areas in the state. Its population jumped from around 5,000 in 2000 to more than 20,700 today, making it one of Louisiana's fastest growing cities. Behind that growth, Youngsville also records a median household income of about $105,000 per year, among the highest in Louisiana. The city is filled with modern neighborhoods, public parks, quality schools, and a growing number of shopping centers. For many Louisianans, the name Scott is almost always tied to Boudin, the Cajun sausage that has become one of the state's culinary icons. This Lafayette Parish city is officially known as the Boudin capital of the world, with legendary spots like Billy's Boudin, Don's Specialty Meats, and Best Stop Supermarket drawing thousands of food tourists from across the United States every year. But Scott's appeal is not only about food. With around 10,000 residents, the city has a median household income of about $56,000 per year, higher than Louisiana's average. Its position beside Lafayette also makes it ideal for commuters who want small-town comfort with quick access to business centers and jobs. In recent years, Broussard has become one of Louisiana's small city success stories. In Lafayette Parish, the city has grown quickly thanks to its strategic position in the Lafayette Economic Corridor, making it a magnet for companies, housing developers, and young families seeking a better quality of life. With more than 16,200 residents, Broussard records a median household income of about $116,000 per year, among the highest for Louisiana's small cities. This growth is driven by expansion in energy, manufacturing, professional services, and modern business and residential areas such as Le Triomphe. Over the past 2 decades, its population has more than doubled, reflecting strong investment and migration into the city.